Well, guess who showed up? Ooh, let's turn down the music a little bit. I want to hear it. Let's try it right there. Just in case when I take a breath, the signal doesn't go to zero. Anyway, so welcome to December 2nd. And, well, so yesterday they expelled a congressman from Congress. There's really only 6 that happened, but 3 of them were 150 years ago because they were Confederates in the Confederacy. So they expelled them for being Confederates. It's hard to represent the United States when you're Confederates. Anyway, and the other 3 are the only ones that occurred, including this one, in 150 or 60, 80, 200 years. And they didn't even, this guy didn't even hasn't been tried yet. He hasn't been convicted of anything. He's been charged, I believe. I don't know if he's been indicted yet. It's supposed to be, handled in March, April, May of next year, so presumably. And, you had an ethics committee and said, oh, he's this and he's that, and he lied about this and he lied about that, and he really didn't work at Goldman Sachs. And, so 775,000 people, his constituency, voted him in office. If they want him out of office, they can recall him, if there is such a thing in New York State, or they can, elect somebody else, next year. Remember, Congressman served only 2 years. So he can either be recalled or they can vote him out of office next year. And if he wasn't properly vetted, shame on the Democratic candidate that he ran against when he got elected to begin with. But he got elected. And Congress has no business undoing an election without any due process and innocent until proven guilty. Hello? Did you ever hear of that? Yeah, gee whiz. Just disgusting. I got a little error message on my computer here. Let me take care of it. Somebody dropped off. So we'll continue without them. Put that back on there. Anyway, so I'll get off my rant about that, but that's terrible. And the Speaker of the House should have gotten in front of the House and just said what I said. And then said, okay, you guys go ahead and vote. But he should have done that. And he said, well, everyone, mamby-pambied around and let everybody view their own conscience. And half the Congress wasn't probably even paying attention because it's not exactly a real important matter. But he should have spoken up, for the good of the Congress, because it's a bad precedent. Because, every time there's a new Congress with greater majorities, they can start, voting people out of Congress just because they feel like it, to increase their majority. Just keep knocking people off. You have a kangaroo court with the ethics committee, and let's get rid of 20 Democratic congressmen. We don't like him. We don't like him. He says all that. And the people that are up in Minnesota, whatever. It's not a good. It could be the ruin of our democracy unless we have a real strong conservative Congress one day, and they pass a law or perhaps an amendment to the Constitution that says you need a supermajority of 75% instead of just a 2/3 majority. Make it very onerous on throwing people out. When they're duly elected. I think that's terrible. There's going to be some consequences with that. Maybe not with the number of years I have remaining at my ancient state. But that's bad news. Anyway, so that's the congressman that got expelled. And he is Giovanni gone. House expels George Santos over ethics violations. Are you kidding? That's terrible. Anyway, there's our former esteemed football coach at FAU with Maryland. Happy Maryland. Quality digital imaging. I had shirts made up, a bunch of black ones and a bunch of red ones. I'm wearing a red one right now, actually. You can see the collar. It's covered up because I have my SpaceX shirt on. Yeah. Speaking of SpaceX, don't I have a copy of let me go to my messaging thing here. One of my friendly nurses that's part of our thing says this picture looks like it's been photoshopped. On second thought, I'm beginning to agree. I look at this edge right along here. You don't see the hairs very well. Of course, you don't see hairs very well anywhere, but you only see hairs in focus right here by the collar. That image could be photoshopped. Sorry, I notice the dog's gentle touch with the ears tucked way back on high alert. And then my friendly nurse, our most favorite cocktail waitress at Chops. She was taking her nursing classes when she was a cocktail waitress. And then she's since elevated herself. I think she's, an RN2, or, the RN is pretty much as high as you can get. She traveled all over the country during the COVID times, helping hospitals out, for a nice big fat charge, whatever they're allowed to charge. I think it's whatever the hospitals, they set the pay rate, and they flew these nurses in, in places where there were deficits. I'm looking for a picture. Here are these people complaining about their condo insurance bill went up. Pay it. $11,000 a unit? Are you kidding? You live on the ocean with the hurricanes that have come through. You live right on the beach. The place, the whole building could sink or something or other, the sand. You gotta do it. $50,000 a unit. Maybe you self-insure. Everybody put up $20K. There were 24 units, $20K. You get 550. Get some money put aside to fix your own building. Anyway, that was. Here's our esteemed former president, First Lady. They never gave her the respect that she deserved. That's terrible. She's a tough cookie, smart cookie. Speaks 5 languages. I think their son speaks 3 or 4, because she, basically self-taught a whole bunch of languages when the kid was growing up. The kid's like 6'10". He's huge. Unbelievable. I'm 5'7". I got a kid that's 6'5". You know, no, that happens, but it happens. So, I know a lot of you don't want to hear this, but President Trump, former President Trump, 45, is going to be giving a speech in Iowa at a what do you call it? A community college auditorium. What does it say here? No, that's Federal Appeals Court. Oh boy. I forget what the name of the community college is, but it's at 4 o'clock on Newsmax. If you get Newsmax in our local market, it's channel 1115, 1115, 1115. News broadcasting beginning at 3:30, and with a speech, assuming it's going to start promptly at 4. This speech will probably last, an hour and a half, somewhere in that range. He's, depending on how, the crowd can energize him and the speech goes long. Or, it depends on how much energy there can be in a crowd. In Iowa, nothing wrong with Iowa, I'm just saying. I don't know how many. Yeah, it could be speaking in front of 2,000 or 3,000 people in a university or in a community college gymnasium. If it's in a football arena or something, it could be 10,000. But if it's in a gymnasium where they can seat, without violating the fire marshal, maybe 2,000 people tops, then depending on how energized that crowd could be, there we go. Trump to target Biden in Saturday's speech. Watch it live on Newsmax. Former President Donald Trump will travel to Iowa on Saturday to give a national address targeting President Joe Biden's threat to democracy. Trump is scheduled to speak at 4 p.m. at the Commit to Caucus at Kirkwood Community College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So you can look up for yourself the Kirkwood Community College and see. Of course, I could probably try that. Where's that picture again? See, I can touch that. Come on, boy. All right, well, copy it. And then I come up here, hit that. Let's see what they say. Enter. Things aren't working for me today. Oh boy. Let's try that. Kirkwood Community College address. There we go. Let's try that. Allow. Come on, baby. All right, well, we see some sponsored photos. We get some images. See what this place looks like. So that's, you can see as well as I can what's going on here. Kirkwood Community College. Looks pretty nice. So, depends, where they're gonna hold this address. Let's see. Let's get back a little bit and get away from images. Let's see, homepage. join us at Kirkwood. I'm looking for something that's going to give me some statistics on how many people could possibly watch the president's address live and in color. U.S. News and World Reports. Come on, give me some help here. You guys, someone here could call in and tell me. So, let's try that one. See if that helps. Yeah. C-SPAN, maybe they have something to say. You may only register up to 6 tickets a person. Let's try this one here. Maybe this will say, this is a sign up for if you want tickets. We don't want that. I am not going to visit the address. There we go. There he is, live and in color. He's alive at 70. What is he? 76, 77. That's November 18th. Da, 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 da. More about, let's do more. Public address. That's not much more. You kidding? That's it. We don't know how many are going to be there. All right, well, I tried. No sense in spending any more time on that. Thank you. Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Here's Donald Trump's. Me and my big fat fingers. Oh, boy. Oh, well. These touch keyboards are, I have a Mac up here, and I got a PC here. But see, the PC controls the pictures that you actually see in your broadcast here, and these pictures remind me of the things I want to talk about. And I have some Sony headphones, by the way, and I wear them a lot. And the ear pads are worn out. But I mean, I wear them because they're noise free and all this kind of stuff. So I put them on late at night and sometimes fall asleep with them on, which I'm not supposed to. Anyway, so for $20, I get replacement, and this is the instructions that come with it, which does not look too comprehensive. Stock pads, and this is our upgraded pads. Okay, they look the same, but all right, they give you this little blue tool, and somehow or other you're supposed to take your time and follow around the ear pad and slowly separate it from the ear cup. Carefully. And apparently there are, these little protrusions in a plastic rim that connect to the headphones, and these things are $400, so you don't want to louse them up. So you see internally here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4. So there's 6 little protrusions that fit inside of 6 sockets to accept the protrusions. And it probably has a little locking, little edge. So you got to be careful so you don't break them off. Anyway, so I get the message about being careful. And then you squeeze them all the way around. And I guess there is a left and a righty. Yep. All right, so luxury upgraded ear pads for $20. You go on to Amazon.com. Oh, there it is. Quality digital imaging. There it is again. Schnellenberger. Tough coach. This was 9 years ago. Imagine 9 years ago. It's windy out there. You can see Maryland's hair is all over the place. There you go, Maryland's. We were walking around the campus. Where is this? This is the Bridge Hotel. Yeah, this is outside the back of the image of the Bridge Hotel. Imagine. I-M-A-G-I-N-E. Imagine. So she's sitting in the I spot. Okay. Even I can figure that out. So here you go. FAU Stadium, December 23rd, 2014. That's 9 years ago. There you go. Look at that. The stadium is half full. And there's the military has stretched out the flag. Everyone's pulling on the edges. I've been down. I took pictures underneath that. Yeah. Here's looking the other way. And this is 83 minutes before game time. A nice big kind of a jumbotron thing there. It's very good, high quality. Only the best at the modern campus of FAU. That's the Boca Hotel, looking from the driving range where they have a car show. We actually see the Boca Hotel from our apartment building. We live, about 500 feet away from the Boca Raton Hotel golf course. And SpaceX launched a rocket yesterday, and it landed itself back, with some very precision software and landing, the software that controls all the flipper-dappers and everything, to get this 230-foot booster that's, 18 feet in diameter, I think it is. So that's like a real skinny 23-story office building landing on, in the middle of a target. They draw a circle with a bullseye. And there's a lot of construction going on. See, this is where they're getting ready to launch something. Yes. And this is another thing that SpaceX is building. They signed a 20-year lease with NASA. Lincoln controls a huge site. And, by signing these leases, they don't have to deal with all the environmental crap. When you get a new location, oh my God, the environmental, it could be 5 years of environmental studies, So it's easier just to try to get someone like NASA to do a sublease or a lease of the pad to someone like SpaceX. It's a friends of mine that know friends that currently work in NASA. They have these incredible rooms that you can see what's going on, particularly when things launch and land. And all the NASA people, they put their heads in their hands when SpaceX lands this huge booster, in the middle of a place where it took off from, because, for decades, NASA just lets these multi-$100 million boosters just rot away in the ocean floor, where SpaceX says, hey, bullshit. This ain't taxpayer money. We just throw it away. This is my money. Or not. Well, it is SpaceX, because it's not a public company, I don't think. Yet. They probably will be. There's so much crap you got to put up with this in a public. I was vice chairman and a board member of a publicly filing bank holding company. Oh my God. I mean, the federal regulations just to properly manage a bank holding company and an affiliate bank, which is a state-chartered bank, in Florida. So we bought a bank, and so because I was in part of the formation of the bank, I've been was a board member for like 12 years and vice chairman of the bank, and my partner was chairman of the bank, and we swapped titles, not in the holding company, but we left that the same because Phil Motter, my then partner, was largely responsible for bringing in most of the capital that we needed to buy the bank. And so I was, I'm a management guy. So that's one of my guys who was high places from Marine Midland Bank, who was a shareholder of our company. He said, Phil Motter is the sizzle, you're the steak. So fix it, Jimmy. So I fixed it. I did good. It was, it was hard work. It was work. We knew exactly what to do. I mean, I had a plan, you had to have a very detailed plan to present it to the Federal Reserve Bank in the Atlanta office. And made a presentation, and also made a presentation to the Board of Governors about that in Washington, D.C. They wouldn't even look at me when I put on a presentation because our bank is like little tiny bank, and they deal with all these, billion and trillion dollar matters. And here they actually had to respond to my request, which had because of the delicate nature of our bank, affiliate bank, which we fixed, by the way. But it was the bank was only this big, so the Federal Reserve, they had to listen to my speech. And I made sure it was a long speech because this sucker was sitting right next to me but wouldn't look at me. He turned himself completely sideways, so I saw like his back and his side while I'm giving my speech. And he's sitting there with his head in his hand like, what, are you kidding me? He had to be present because it was required, because he was the chief of staff or something. I forget his title, but he was... Anyway, and they approved the request. I mean, it took them 3 weeks to approve it after that speech. And I did the talking. It was, we did a lot of things that, trillion-dollar banks have to do. The same rules. The little guy doesn't get any breaks for being a little guy because you're dealing with insured deposits and all this stuff is to protect the depositor's money. Of course, when we make a loan in a bank, and people don't understand this, of course I did, but when you make a loan, let's say it's a $100 loan, we'll keep it simple. $80 of the $100 is depositor's money, and $20 that was put up by shareholders. Okay, so because 80% of the money is insured deposits, they have all this regulatory superstructure to make sure you bankers don't squander and put at risk the depositors' money. You got to make god darn sure that money's coming back, or else we're going to hang you by your toenails. Oh God! And that's really the whole reason for all this regulatory mumbo jumbo, the ongoing supervision of banks, is because 80% of the loans that are extended to the public, we have loan committees and all this stuff internally, but even a little tiny bank, we got a loan committee, we got a loan policy. I wrote the loan policy, and because I was chief credit officer, I was chief every damn thing. when you have less than 100 employees and you're running a bank, you have to wear a lot of hats. So I was senior lending officer. I was chief credit officer. I was vice chairman of the bank and chief bottle washer. Bill was chairman, and he was in charge of raising money, and I was in charge of everything else. That's about how it goes. Now, Bill was an accomplished bank president, so it's not like he was, not in. He was a serious player. There's no question about that. But he raised the money, honestly, and I was in charge of everything else that could be, that I could possibly do. And whatever I couldn't do, I hired professionals to do, like consultants and so forth. Jerry Dolan was very important in our acquiring of that bank because she was our regulatory affairs consultant. And she was formerly with Deloitte & Touche, and she used to be a regional, with Deloitte & Touche, handling bank regulatory matters for, one of the nation's largest accounting firms. So when she, I guess, retired or whatever from Deloitte & Touche as a young lady of 45, and her background, she was the head of the banking department for the Florida Department of Banking. So she had a serious resume. So when she went out on her own to be an independent consultant, which Phil knew her because he had hired her as a regulatory affairs consultant to help him with his stuff. He told me about her, and I said, yeah, I will meet with her immediately, which I did. And he met with me and her, so we was at a meeting. And then thereafter, it was just me and her, because he was in charge of raising money, I was in charge of everything else. Oh, God, it was a great experience. We did a good job. It was a very successful thing. And I should have stayed in it longer. I got out early. But anyway. So any of you that are interested in the Rotary International, if you send in to them, or you can send it in to me, or you can send it in to Maryland, $100 a ticket. If you buy, you got $1,000, you want to, or $100 or $10,000, you want to contribute to the Rotary, which is a completely there's no salaries floating around with Rotary. All these people donate their time. They're all very serious people in the local community. Marilyn is on the board of directors, I think, of Rotary. They've been trying for years to get her to be president. She didn't want to do it. It's too much work. She's an active bank president, or not bank president, what do you call it? Financial center manager. And so it's kind of like being a bank president in your local community, because you do everything, except regulatory stuff and shareholder stuff. But you do all the banking stuff, and she works at Seacoast Bank. Anyway, so this letter, I got this letter in the mail, and for every $100, so if you sent me $1,000, you sent me a $1,000 check, or if you wired into me, whatever, each $100, you get a ticket for a drawing that happens. There it is, right here, January 26th. If you can see that right there, if I can get this. Yeah, there we go. The drawing is January 26th, and the first prize is 2 tickets to the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, Nevada. You get to go to the pre-game Super Bowl tailgate, food, entertainment, and beverages, 3 nights, hotel accommodations at the brand new Las Vegas Hilton World Resort. You get 2 tickets round trip, donated by JetBlue, and you get limousine to the to and from the South Florida airport. And of course, the Las Vegas Hilton And this whole what do you call it, Super Bowl, they they take you to the resort from the airport in Las Vegas. Anyway, that's first prize. That's pretty exciting first prize. That's a ticket is the face value of the ticket is probably, I'm going to say $2,000 a ticket. Maybe it's $2,500 a ticket. It used to be $250. I think it's $2,500 now. But you can't get them for $10,000. But if you were to buy a ticket at par, it's probably a couple $1,000 a ticket. Anyway, you get 2 tickets, plus you get airfare and you get all sorts of stuff I just said. Second prize, you get St. James Club and Villas in Antigua. 7 to 9 nights. 7 to 9 nights. That's interesting. So shall we average that? Say 8? Need an explanation of what that means. Okay, maybe, anyway, premium accommodations, 3 rooms. Double occupancy. See, 3 rooms. That's interesting. All right. So you can have 2 boyfriends and 1 girlfriend, or 1 boyfriend and 2 girlfriends. Accommodations for 3 rooms. All right. So mommy and daddy and the kids. There you go. And that's the second prize. Antigua. So 8 nights, premium accommodations. We'll average it. I don't understand the 7 to 9 nights. You need to explain that, but I can't explain it. All right, third prize is the Waterstone Resort and Marina in Boca Raton. You get 2 nights stay and $200 worth of food and beverages at the Waterstone. It's a nice hotel. I would I prefer the third prize. I would probably do number 1. I'm not too sure about number 2. Wasn't there one of those cities where people were dying because there was some gas coming out of the air conditioning? You gotta be careful these days. Anyway, you don't need to be there to win. It's a drawing by the Rotary, so this is very fair. I've watched them do this stuff. They get all kinds of people, with phone cams and all this stuff. So you get, videos being taken from every possible angle. So these guys can't monkey around with tickets. It's only throw that one, take this one back up. No, none of that happens. For complete rules and disclosures, visit www.bocawestfoundation.org. All right, so they have something to do with supervising the delivery of tickets and the collection of monies, I guess. All prizes have been secured and fulfilled by the Boca West Children's Foundation. That's interesting. Anyway, so Rotary is, collecting money for this, on behalf of those folks. And so I saw this letter come across Marilyn's desk here at our local office studios here in Boca Raton. And so I figured, why not broadcast? Why not tell all you out there on the internet land, not TV land, internet land, it's video, audio and video. And it's Saturday, 11:29 a.m., December 2nd. Anyway, so I wanted you to see that. I'm kind of leaving this up here so you can kind of read this. But anyway, so we would really appreciate it if you could spare some money. And you have a chance to win these. I don't know. This is an actual copy of a ticket, which I just kind of put on next to the letter. This is ticket number 2,201. And in 2002, they gave Maryland like 5 tickets. Go schlep 5 tickets from those tickets. I figured this is a lot easier. And if you want to do credit card, look at this. You can go to this site right here. form.jotform.com/232264671888911. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Anyway, there's the number. It's a big number. Holy crap. That'll take you right to the place where you can use your credit card to buy these tickets at $100 a copy. So you can. That's a way you can. I haven't. I think I'll test this out. Oh, look at this. Open link. We can open link right here on there. Boca West Children's Foundation raffle ticket payment form. So you put your name in there, you put your email address, billing address, and you put in here, I want 5 tickets, $500. You want to do your credit card, then you just pop in, or you can do Apple Pay. Let's see, Apple Pay, yeah. So that's it. I did a test. There's the location. Let's see. Let's put 4 in there and see what happens. Where does it go? Oops! There is no such one. All right, so we can go back to this. Put a 5 back in there. I know I'm a computer guy, so I was just curious. So it's a secure site and all that stuff. Because you can tell. Oops. Oh, I can go back here. See, HTTPS. That's a secure server, and double secret. What do you call it? Encryption. It's very, very good encryption. Let's see. What's going on? I have a package that's being delivered. I was trying out some Bose headphones. Where is it? Get updates. All right, we already know that. View details. The package. Shipment progress. It's in Jacksonville. So it's spending the weekend in Jacksonville. On its way to, where is it? Some crazy location. Yuma, Arizona is the return center for Bose, apparently. It receives these headphones and makes sure that the box has headphones in there. The left ear stopped working. So I said, out of here. For $450, everything's got to work. And it's only, like 5 or 6 weeks old. So I'm not going to send them in for repair. Not with that kind of money. That thing should work for forever. When you're in this studio crap, you got to have a good pair of headphones and noise canceling headphones, or even these are Rode headphones. Of course, I can't hear anything now, but these are really good. Let's see a big L in there for left. They get a big R on the other side. Oh, God. It's good. It's very good. So, Rode, my whole computer setup here, the soundboard, is... Okay. Yeah. Anyway, you can do all kinds of goofy stuff, which I normally don't do. All right, so I've been on the air for 44 minutes. I think we've had enough for a Saturday. So, is there anything pressing else? So, see if you can do something with this rotary. That would be nice. And give Marilyn Wilson the credit for that. She's a board member of the Rotary. Look at this. This is the X Factor. The X. Twitter. This is a Trump lover. This is where all of our problems in the United States started. Yeah, that's a Trump lover. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to bring This is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's running for president on the Democratic side. It says right here, I'm going to bring the troops home. I'm going to close the bases. I'm going to start investing in the United States middle class and our country. I'm going to make us an exemplary democracy again. Well, good for you. And it ain't going to be easy. That's what Trump was a shake-up guy. And he saw so much stuff going on. And he did. He shook it up pretty good. And that's why they don't want him to get reelected again, because he shook the roots. And that's what you need to do. You need to get rid of these institutional guys, that have been there for their whole goddamn lives. There's a cyber truck going through crash testing. Bam. It's amazing how many cars they got to make and destroy just for the crash testing. You get hit from the left, you get a hit from the right, you get a hit from the rear, so this, you probably got to donate 10 cars so they can try to ruin it. And then, of course, one you could give somebody and they take it apart. Oh, look at this. There you go. Let's see. Elon Musk calls for Mitch McConnell to be removed from office. Yes. We have elections. So you want to get somebody out of office, you can recall them if there is such a thing, a recall. In the case of the presidency, you impeach, and impeaching in government speak is the indictment, okay, in criminal court speak. So when you impeach somebody, that does not remove you from office. That is the indictment as written in the Constitution. And I have the Constitution little booklet down in my filing cabinet. That's next to where I sit. So impeachment is the indictment, and then the trial occurs in the United States Senate, where the 100 senators are all the jurors, and the Supreme Court justice is the judge. And you've got the Democratic panel of attorneys, congressmen over here, and you got the Republican congressman over here, and they put on a trial. All right, I'm done. See you maybe tomorrow. Likely, for sure, Monday. Bye-bye.